good with it until the time actually came around to be good with it. He was like, I don't get it. Why can't we all hang out together? I don't think it's fair that we hang out every day together and then all of a sudden you want to stop hanging out with me so that way you can go and hang out with your friend. Like, you're pretty much just blowing me off for Valeria. So then I asked him, I'm like, why would you want to hang out with two teenage girls? That's weird. Like, it's gonna be boring. We don't do anything fun. Like, we do girly shit. And then he's like, well, if it's something that you're doing and you like, I will force myself to do it also, or try to like it as much as you do. Oh my god. So at this point I'm like, all right, whatever, I don't give a fuck. So of course I tell Valeria this, and she's low-key pissed off because she wanted it to just be me and her, of course. But we made a plan. We were gonna all hang out, all three of us, and her and I were gonna be super boring the entire time, so that way next time he did not want to come and hang out with us. So that was the plan. We were gonna go to this amusement park. We were gonna go and sit on the benches near the food court and just play on our phones the whole time, so that way he would be like super bored and never want to hang out with us again. So, you know, my stepmom, she dropped us all off at the amusement park, and for some reason Justin's sitting there and, like, you know, he's like sitting right behind my mom. Here's the window, and he has his head against the window, and he's like every 5 seconds. And I really think that it was because I was showing Valeria a lot more attention than I was showing him. Like, her and I were laughing and talking the whole car ride, you know, we were talking to my stepmom, we're all talking girl talk, because this is literally the first time that I'm seeing her before she left. So fast forward, we are all in the amusement park, and, you know, we're walking around, and Valeria and I are kind of trying to talk to each other, but trying to talk to each other enough to the point where it looked like we weren't having fun, you know? So we would like say one sentence and then just like be quiet for like 10 minutes and then say another sentence to make it look like we're not having fun. But then 20 minutes later, what does Justin decide to do? Justin decides that he's gonna start literally hanging all over me. All over me. He has his arm around me the whole entire time, and it's not even the fact that he had his arm around me, okay? It was the fact that any time that we like stood up, he would come up behind me and hug me from behind and just, you know, like hold me while I'm like trying to talk to Valeria, and it's like, bruh, like, please stop. Stop, stop, stop. So after that, Valeria was like getting pissed off because, you know, like then he was trying to talk to me the whole time and I couldn't really talk to her. So she started talking to me in Spanish, and everybody could tell that she did this to be a dick, to be honest. Like, it was not like, you know, she forgot that he couldn't speak Spanish or anything like that. No. She was doing it to be a dick. But I could give 2 bucks less, because at this point I'm starting to feel the same way as she does. So, you know, we're joking and laughing, and then Valeria goes to the bathroom and Justin and I go and sit on one of the benches, and we're sitting there and he's like huffing and puffing, kicking the rocks with his feet. Obviously I know what's wrong, and I don't want to ask him what's wrong because then I'll have to acknowledge why he is sad. But then I'll feel like a dick if I didn't ask him. So I asked him what's wrong. And he's like, I just don't feel included. Like, why can't you guys speak English around me? All I wanted to do was have fun with you guys today, and I feel like you guys are making me feel like a burden. Like, anytime I try to make a joke or, you know, butt in a conversation with you guys just look at me and then look back at each other and keep talking. So then I actually start to feel bad. And then when Valeria gets out of the bathroom, I tell her that we need to start speaking English because I feel bad, and we need to start being a little bit nicer. So then of course she's pissed off at me. I would be pissed off at myself too, to be honest. Anyway, so Valeria slept over my house that night, thank God, because we needed our girl time. And then, you know, Justin tries calling me 3 times in a row because, you know, he wants to fall asleep on FaceTime together. So I keep telling him that Valeria is sleeping over and I want to spend time with her, and it would be very rude if I was just sitting on the phone with my boyfriend the whole time instead of talking and acknowledging her. And then he texted me saying that he doesn't even like the fact that I'm friends with her. She's not supportive of our relationship. She clearly does not accept him as my boyfriend, and he would never have anybody who disrespected me in the way that she disrespected him around me. So at this point I text him and I'm like, I don't care anymore. I really don't. So what does he do? He literally blocks me. Blocks me. But then, you know, I found out that he blocked me literally 5 minutes before I went to sleep, and then I fell asleep and I woke up in the morning and I'm unblocked and I have like 20 missed calls. Like, sis, make up your mind. Half of the messages and voicemails that he left me were literally him saying that he was upset and disappointed that I did not try to get in contact with him when he blocked me. I don't care about him. I don't love him. So yeah, that was that, okay? Like, I don't even remember what I said back to that ridiculous ass shit. So fast forward, it's time for Valeria and I to go on this vacation, and then Justin gets upset because Valeria and I are going to Florida together and he's not invited. So guess what he did? Instead of just being sad and, you know, accepting it like a normal person, he talked to my stepmom. Yeah, he talked to her. And somehow he talked her into letting him come with us. And I have no idea how she convinced my dad to let him come on this trip. She did. But I literally found this out the night before we were supposed to leave, because she came into my room and she said that she had a surprise. She was like, I have a surprise for you. Justin's coming on the trip with us. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, I don't want him there. Why is he coming? And she's like, oh honey, you don't have to act like that. He told us that you're really upset that he's going away to basketball camp soon and you want to spend more time with him. So he really wanted to come on this trip and, you know, make it up to you and spend time with you. So now I have to break the bad news to Valeria. I feel like such a shitty friend at this point. And then after I texted Valeria, I texted Justin and I was like, why would you tell my stepmom that I told you I wanted to come on this trip to Florida? This was supposed to be a vacation for Valeria and I, because we haven't been able to spend any time together without you tagging along, or we haven't even been able to talk on the phone because you throw a temper tantrum anytime that I call her instead of you. Like, you really just couldn't let us have this one trip. This one trip. And he's like, wow, like, I'm really upset the fact that you think that I would sabotage your guys' trip. No, I just really wanted to see you and I thought you would want to see me too, but I guess that you don't care about me, so fine. Well, fast forward, Valeria ends up not coming on vacation and I don't blame her. And to be honest, the vacation was literally fucking terrible because I was miserable the whole time also. And the reason why she didn't come was she was pissed off at the fact that Justin was coming. She thought that it was just gonna be me, her, and our families. And then, you know, we get home and Justin decides that he's gonna quit basketball. So that way he could, quote, spend all of his time with me. Which obviously I didn't like at all, because we had literally already spent every single waking, breathing, living moment together every day. Can I just say one thing? Okay, if you are in a relationship, you cannot make that person your lifeline. Okay, don't do it. I mean, you can make them that person, but just don't do it. Like, trust me, I know firsthand experience and I've seen it happen multiple times. You will have one of the most toxic relationships ever. You'll have no friends because you cut them all off because you thought that this person was the only friend that you needed. You'll be spending so much time together, you won't have time to miss each other, which will cause arguments over the smallest and dumbest shit ever. And then, you know, if you guys spend every breathing, living moment together, what is there to talk about? Because you can't tell him, oh, work was cool today, you know, blah, 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 blah. He can't be like, oh yeah, school was, you know, this today. Just don't do it. I'm giving you that advice right now. Do not do it. And if you already did it, good luck. Because sis, took me 5 years to get out of that shit. So, you know, now I'm like trying to distance myself from him. Not in a way where I wanted to break up, but in a way where I wanted us to start being more independent in our relationship. Like, hopefully he would just be used to not being around me and maybe he would start playing basketball again. Maybe he would start hanging out with his friends again, because I was feeling smothered. Like, I literally felt like I was being squeezed into a tiny little ball and soon I was gonna explode. But that just like didn't work, because anytime that I wouldn't answer his calls or his texts, he would literally send me audio messages of him screaming and crying. Like, the one time he literally even sent me a video of him holding a gun up to his head. Just like some real fucking traumatic shit. So after that, I apologize, I comfort him, even though he should be comforting me, because he's literally giving me like, he's like traumatizing me. But eventually I wouldn't care whenever he would do this shit anymore. Like, it got old to me very quickly. Like, the one time my friend Rachel was having her birthday party at this glow-in-the-dark mini golf place. And she doesn't really like new people. Like, she has her friend group and then she has people that she is friends with, if that makes sense. Anyway, she only likes people that she knows, and she really doesn't like meeting new people. So that it is what it is. Those were the only people that could come to this birthday party. And she invited me, and I told Justin that I was gonna go to this birthday party. And he was like, oh, okay, like, why can't I go? Really? And I told him she doesn't like new people. And he was like, can you please just ask her, like, she should be okay with it since we're dating. Low-key, I really thought that she would be okay with it because she didn't know that we were in a relationship, but she was Valeria's friend before she was mine, so Valeria probably told her about all the fucked up shit that he does, so yeah. Anyway, so he's like, I always feel left out. You're my only friend now. I don't have any other friends, so of course I'm gonna want to hang out with you 24/7. So, you know, I text Rachel. I'm like, hey Rach, can Justin come to your birthday party? And she texts me back. She kindly declines. She's like, hey, like, I'm sorry, I don't really feel comfortable with that, so could it just be you? So I send him a screenshot of the text messages so that way he also doesn't think that I'm lying to him. And he goes, that's really sus. I think something else is going on. Like, who